Hello. See one. Let's put some here. Spray bars are getting plugged up because the water level in the river dropped. Did that earlier. Hey there, Flash. One-handed shoveling. I love the Crux, especially being one-handed here. The mats are the old gen, their first stage. Apparently he has a new one that works good, and there's also the option to dream mat. But I'll stick to the mats that are designed for it. This lightweight thing works pretty good. I'm running on my 35 amp hour battery. My goal is to get a gram before that battery dies. This flood gold here has been really rich for flood gold. No nuggets, no big flakes, but lots of tiny stuff. Lots and lots of tiny stuff in almost every pan. So, Happy Camp. I love Happy Camp. I used to do the 5-pound pancake challenge in Side Valley, just so I could get free pancakes. Everyone's like, you're eating 5 pounds of pancakes again? Yeah, when you're broke, it works. After about every 20 shovels, I like to pause, do a pan, and that lets the mat stuff clear out, and we can see some gold. So raw scoop, no cuts. Getting out into the river here. The river's been raging. I've seen whole trees coming down. So some of you know how to pan, but watch here what I'm doing. I should have classified, but I don't have a classifier. We're just seeing. I'm still on it. Stratifying the material. Wash some of the stuff off. I'm going to pluck some of the bigger rocks off by hand. Some of them just roll off the heavy cons. Oh, Lockman. Okay. How you doing? It's good to see you on here. I'll be going live on here a little more just to diversify my social stuff. I usually go live on TikTok for those of you who don't know, but I'm turning a leaf here. So right there you can see, stay focused. So there's 1, 2, 3, there's like, there, get a little, all those colors from this one baby pan, one-handed. So you get, it's just like snowflakes. You get enough of those little baby snowflakes, you can get yourself a good quantity of gold. But it takes doing this, because this is one scoop like I just panned. Now I got one whole thing processed, and this is going to do the recovery work for me. Oh, my arm's doing really good, actually. My physical therapist was like, I'm gonna see if you can take that brace off, but obviously no heavy lifting. And I was like, nope, all I've been doing was holding my phone. Hold the phone and do that. My right arm is getting disproportionate to my left. I know I'm gonna hear jokes about it at work, but when I return, that'll be good. I'll put up with the jokes to get back to work. I got goals to accomplish. I could be working right now physically, but because I could do a lot welding one-handed. But they aren't comfy enough to release me for it. This is good cardio. And you can't beat some of the scenery here. It's getting a little hazy out. We got some big old storms going on over there. Hopefully those don't move in before my battery dies. Well, that's the goal. I'm watching the percentage of the battery and trying to get as much of this material worked as I can. The battery is actually really impressive. It's super lightweight lithium iron phosphate. So I ran about an hour before and it only used 15%. But it also wasn't clogging up with this river stuff. I've got my time lapse going of the tailings pile growing that I'll be putting back in the hole when I'm done. You can't even tell the spot I worked before over here. Box is running still pretty good. Those spray bars. I forgot my screen, which would be easy to pull it off and clean, but it's always one part or another. It's better than forgetting the mats like the first time I carried it out here for. I'd forgotten the mats for the capture, which kind of was like, oh, I guess I'm just panning all day. You better stick to that soft root. That should work. Better clear these spray bars out a little bit. That's just so it'll rinse the rocks better and keep the flow right. If I had a little screwdriver, I'd use that. That's good enough. Since I'm live, I'll do more frequent raw pans, and we'll see that the gold is holding true. I've got that bucket for concentrates. I'm not going to work any concentrates out here. I'll be doing that tonight. I'm trying to work on getting this gram of mine, fine flour gold, if I can. It's like 73 degrees and I'm sweating up. But of course I'm working, but all sorts of familiar. Hello from Australia. Hey, thank you. I'd love to be getting some of that Aussie stuff. So the richest layers here, on this river anyway, in this spot anyway, are about 8 inches deep. Last time I was here, there was no water flowing in this channel, and now it's full. The water level has dropped a little bit today. It was all the way up here. You can see that wet, slimy stuff. So it's been dropping, and I had to dig a trough for my pump. Trying to keep track of time. I'm going to do one mid shift clean out. Check the battery status. Should last 4 hours. The reason I'm using a small shovel is because I have to do this one-handed, for those that don't know. I tore my bicep and it's still technically in the recovery stage, so I have to wear this brace to prevent further injury. So all I'm doing is holding my phone in there. So instead of keeping my arm useless, I figured I'd take you along with me. I have a timer on there. I also have this one has the Bluetooth so I can see the percentages. I was gonna bring a timer clock that I have. It's kind of like a stopwatch, but a big one, and put it in the background and do a time lapse. I was digging with the time, but the more and more I wanted to get stuff and make this like a glorious video, the more I was like, just keep it simple. That pack is already heavy enough with everything in it. All the batteries, camera gear. I've got 4 cameras with me right now. How that happened? I was just an old man going upstairs. I believe it was a previous injury. I think previously I injured it, but it didn't quite rupture. And over time and working and getting older, using the arm more, it finally just gave out. It felt weird. It still worked. Like I could move my arm around, but it was so weak. So weak. Like I'd grab something and then I'd feel a spasm and I was like, something's wrong here. I need to check it when I get home. And sure enough, they're like, yep, you tore it. They had to do a allograft of donor tissue. Said it was way up there, retracted. I think that's about the right count. I'm gonna let those mats clean out a little bit. Let's do another, I need to get this pan dumped and clean. Every pan I do is a clean, no cheat, clean pan. Nothing in there. Let's do a raw sample. I'm gonna try the downstream side over here. Toss that big rock. I think I'll do a little bigger sample and break more of those rocks out. Then we can get there we go. That's a good sample pan. Let's see how it goes. Hello from Florida. Hello. Yeah, no, the Crux has been amazing. I've used it many times. I haven't really filmed it much. I do have an affiliate link, but it's kind of a mix. I'm sure some of you understand, like, I believe in the product and I use it. I love it. And it captures the fine gold. But when you put an affiliate link on there, people are like, oh, I can't trust this opinion anymore. So I don't really put it out there much. I thought I would in the beginning because I was like, oh yeah, great, I could support him and do something. But it's like, I support him anyway. I did put a link in the description of this live if anyone is interested in one. But if not, oh well. Crux prospecting. It's a great little beast. Hello from Florida. Yeah, that's the goal, is to get the gold before any thunderstorms come in. All right, raw pan 2 on live. There's 2 there. There's a dusting up there. Let me get this pan down a little deeper. Just a raw pan from start to finish from this stuff. It doesn't weigh much. But some of these pans have been close to 50 colors. This is probably more like, well, there's a ton of micros I'm sure aren't showing on the screen, but there's been times I've had like 100, 200 colors in a pan behind the right rock or in the right scoop at the right level. It all varies. I'm just gonna put this in here. Oh. There we go. If it would just stay focused, that'd be really cool. So yeah, there's a tail of gold there. It's going in here. I don't want too much in my concentrates. I want them from this. So I need to try and work some of that debris out of the spray bars. The mats look pretty well cleaned up. Let's keep scooping. A lot of people casually dig for gold, try and keep it easy, but if you want to get the numbers that a lot of people show, it takes the work to get it. Free gold, hockey, yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, it takes some labor into it, but this is one of those. And I was corrected before by a friend. This is by the weight of it, it's not a jasper. It feels like a serpentinite. It's greenstone, it's heavy. It's very colorful. Like there's multiple shades of the color of this one. Really cool, but you can see like all these fracture lines, a bit of banding. I think I even see a little rusty pyrite right there. Crazy. Keep digging. Rocks can be distracting. But rocks have value too, so gotta pay attention. You never know if that one rock's gonna be like a jade that's $100 or some unique with the image of a religious figure that you could sell on eBay for $1 million. You never know. That's kind of a joke, but is that all of it? That could be, but it felt heavier. It felt like serpentinite. We call it serpentine typically. Just cleaner and easier. If it had some translucency, it'd be nephrite, possibly jade. It might have had some olivine with the change of colors. We have a lot of green chert. This river pulls from over 100 miles of river fed by tons of different geology, going all the way up the Chugach and Talkeetna Mountains. So we get all kinds of stuff in here. My water flow's dropping. I might have to clean my pump head. Some real good gold feeder creeks come into this one too. Primarily the Caribou Creek, which is about 100 miles upstream, but it also has a recreation area, basically open to the public area that anyone can visit and work. But it's like a half-mile hike down the hill on a couple of big switchbacks. And the gold there is spotty too, just like this. It's all glacial plain from there. The cool thing is it's cooler and you're closer to a glacier. What's your rarest find? So I got two, well, I won't call it, so when I was in Australia metal detecting about 25 years ago, I got about 14 ounces of gold, which at the time was only like, it was $2.80 an ounce. So. And the fees that were needed were all crazy. Yeah, I gotta clean my pump head. It's probably clogged up. And, but I got my one was a 3/4 ounce piece, which was a glorious one because Australia, as you know, has some areas has the purest gold around. There in Georgia. Oh, I'm gonna have to set you for a sec. Okay. Cleaning off the screen. Checking the impellers. Basic midway check. Check these things because you can burn up a pump and then ruin your whole day if you don't check it. And I need to bring that rock out, clear my hole out more, some stuff. Sorry, I gotta set you down again. We gotta set these rocks up to hold the pump in place so it doesn't draw up from the suction hose. And we're back on. So much easier than pull starting a big motor. That's more like it. The other one was a 3/4 ounce on from the Klamath River when I'm dredging. So that was like 70 feet down. We were way deep in the middle channel, this oddball spot that we did not expect to be that deep. All right. I'm clearing out some of the spray bar holes. Luckily it's like 70 something degrees today, so I don't care if I get sprayed a little bit. Now in winter that's a different story. And this is all my fault why these are plugging up, because I forgot to bring the little screen attachment. So I just said I'll deal with it. I wasn't driving all the way back to find that piece. Right on, thank you. As well, lots of Australia, that's crazy. Yep. I remember when gold was that low price too. That's when I did it for a living. And when I think about my 100 ounce summer, I wonder how it would end up being. 100 ounce summer at these prices would be crazy. Yeah, I need to have a couple. Well, I need to have more parts and stuff ready. Looks like the river's dropping again. Jaminis. I'm surprised it's dropping. We've got some beast of storm clouds over there, which I'm sure are putting some water into the system, but it must not have made it down here yet. One after the other. The last time I did this for about an hour, I had a kid helping me, so I didn't go live while the kid was here. But he was a fun one to work with. He was getting after it. I'm gonna do a little check. Sometimes skinny rocks. People over there were looking at me a little strange, like, who's he talking to? I'm talking to my people. Oh, I'm safe for bears here. Oh, when you're ready, you will? Cool. I'm sure Kyle's wondering why he even put me on there. He removed my logo from his website, even though I probably not near as much as, you know, Dan Hurd or Pioneer Poly or Chris Undertaking or Internal Compass, but I think I'm one of the biggest promoters because I've been so happy with it. And because it can go right into this backpack fit right in there, no problem. It's narrow enough that it's not taking up a great amount of space. There's 2 grates, so if I want to work bigger stuff, I can. I'm using the 1/4 inch right now, so because this gold is super fine, floury powder. But every scoop, if it's 50 colors, and I'm making, I don't know, maybe between 14 and 14 cents a scoop. I was trying to do the math before. How many scoops would it take for me to get my gram and do the math? But I don't know. That is a Seaflow 2000 pump. Hello, show. Oh, I tried. I've got one of those privacy screen protectors, so if I look at it wrong, the glare, it like polarizes the light and I can't see it as well. I think I need to change that when I get home. A banded, I don't know if that's jasper or what, but it turns kind of blue right here. Really cool. But I could pluck hundreds of those out here. It's a problem. I'm here for gold, and I'm saying, ooh, pretty rock. How many of you guys have that same problem? You get doing your prospecting or doing whatever, and you're like, ooh, pretty rock. Stop and look at it. All right, time to let those mats run. Kind of get some of the top stuff off. And time for another maiden gold pan. Let's do right here. Working up a good sweat today. I'm gonna load this one fairly heavy. Let's see some more gold. Because you know, this is about 2 scoops of material, and I fed a good 20 or 30 in there in that time since the last pan. So each one makes a difference. And my goal is to run until my battery runs out or I have a snafu. No, there will be no nuggets today. If there are nuggets, I wouldn't be showing it. I'd be like, ooh, because nuggets end up bringing the crowd. When people see the tiny gold I get and they know that it takes some work to add up, they're not as interested. Now, some people in the Midwest and even, places that don't have a lot of gold would be euphoric here. All right. And about the same. Some nice flakes on the top there. Nice for this area. They're super tiny ones, but when you're live, it doesn't really show them that well. And here it goes. Rinse that out. All clean. Time for the next one. One thing a lot of people do that also messes up their amount of gold recovery is cleaning up too much or not checking what they're doing. So if I took that pan and I had nothing, but that area had good stuff and that area had good stuff, it means I need to work that way. But if I kept working this way and I didn't check, I'll have worked a lot of stuff that's not valuable. So that's why every 20 or 30 pans, as I work the circle out, I check if it's everywhere or in a particular area. I'll also check depth, because sometimes this raging water would get a little bit from get it down to 8 inches or 6 inches, sometimes a foot deep of clean out, where it would move all this top stuff. Upstream, there's a spot where the river narrows and then it opens into this vast wide valley over, like, I believe at its widest area here is like a mile, maybe more than that. I'm going low so I don't overstate what it is, but it's actually quite a big opening from a barely 300 wide bottleneck. Alaska. It's a sluice, yeah. That's a Highbanker power sluice. My pump runs the water to here, gives me this washout which classifies the material. This one's cool because the way Kyle designed it has diagonals each way and a center trough, so all the material gets funneled to the center of the grizzly bar, and that helps it feed center on there so it can fan out accordingly. We're in Alaska. We're in Alaska. It's a fairly popular place, but because the river's running so high, a lot of people aren't going out here because they like to rock hound out in those open gravel areas. But this channel here, which is pulling entire trees downstream, just isn't making it worthwhile. Got some people rock hounding down there. I see them picking up all sorts of rocks, so I'm figuring that's what they're doing. They were looking at me funny as they walked by. Alright, a little time check. It is 4:15. Alright, I'm going to do this for about another 15 minutes. Do a rough cleanup, get it into the bucket to clean the mats out, and then put them back in, and then resume duty. That'll give me time to turn off the battery, clean the pump, clean the spray bars out good. And we can take a sneak peek at what this box has been capturing during all this work for the last hour and a half. Because the goal is volume. The quality is so-so. Oh, that'd be sweet. So I've had this case. So let me see here. My state has very little gold. What state is that? And then have you found, ask what the biggest nut, I found 2 3/4 ounce nuggets in my life. One was in California, northern California, where when you say northern, it's actually northern on the Klamath River. And that was while dredging back when it was legal to, before they signed all the stuff. We were about 70 foot down. The other one was exactly 3/4 ounce as well. Like we were checking with milligram scales to try and see the difference on what those 2 nuggets were. And Australia won the tiebreaker with the most purity. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean those spray bars out really good again. That's all right. We'll get some more fed in here. That's the thing of it out here. The more you run, the more you get. The closest example of this fine gold that I'm talking here I could think of would be on the North Saskatchewan River in Alberta. I think I gotta clean it out now. This side's not even spraying. All right, well, let's get that going. I'm gonna clean the pump first, then run it for a little bit to get this washed out, get the full flow. And then we'll pull the mats, we'll dunk them in the bucket, take a scoop of the material and see how the gold looks. Yeah, the river just dropped and that's why my pump is sucking air. Pull that power off, let's check this. Oh yeah. Can I do this one-handed? All right, sit down. All right, back. Yep, I got some woody debris in there. It happens on these summer breakups. It's not really technically breakup anymore here in Alaska. It's more a heat wave meltdown. All right. No, it's not pulling air, it's cavitating. So we'll let it wash those mats down a little bit more. For what it's worth, you can see it's like jammed up. I need to get a stick and clean those places up. Find one of these little driftwood sticks to get that. We're doing it right here so that that sediment doesn't run into the main stream. Not that it really matters, because when the water rages, it's going to anyway, because it all flattens out here, but you know, the rules. All right. Let's do a clean out. We're halfway through the day. You see these ribs have nice little, have nice little catch zones, and they actually work really well. Yeah, very expensive when trucks involved. Yeah, I've been on a few where I've had to help some miners with their operations, kind of like what Freddie Dodge and Juan do, because I'm a welder and I know gold mining. Oh, that's like solid black sand right there. So the last mat didn't have that much black sand. I think we're in for a treat. These mats are fairly easy to get out by one hand. They just press fit. I was hoping I'd see like a whole line of gold in this, but it's so small and the water's so cloudy with silt from the glacier stuff that I wouldn't expect much. So this is going to be my concentrate bucket I take home. I'm turning this. I'm just going to gently bump the power for the water to help flow, rush some of that down. I'm not too worried about super close. Oh, right there's one I see. Right there's one right there. So there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. But where was it? There's one. There's one. So there's still a bunch in here. A bunch of fine stuff. That's cool. Oh yeah, yeah. No, Tony and Parker definitely have some expenses to them, but it's helped out for them with the equipment deals they can get by advertising the equipment. All right. Just gonna gently set that here. curl this on the side. That way it all flows down into the bucket. I bet you guys are going to be happy with this pan. If I'm seeing gold still trailing in here after pulsating it. The nice thing about these mints too is there's no particular order you have to do them in. They kind of remind me of Gold Hog, but they're not. They're Crux. And he has a new style of mats too. Yeah, it's not really scripted. And take that from another TV guy here. So I was on Gold Rush Whitewater. And what's funny is today you're watching me get more gold than I got on Gold Rush Whitewater. And that's the sad truth. Like, they're very well intentioned and like it's supposed to be a good time fun, but it's oh my god, I could totally see all the black sands. We're gonna just do one handful. I gotta rinse my hand off in here. Just gonna do one handful of the concentrates from this. You get too much in the pan when it comes to this good of quality stuff, you're definitely gonna wash out. And I'm not gonna go as fast as my sample pans either. I like to bring it flat and shallow, almost level. That gives the gold time to get through the less material, and then I shake walk it till it gets to that corner, and that helps keep it on the bottom. I know some people do a different thing where they shake it from the side through all of it, but that's a technique that's worked for me on all this flour gold for a long time. The less that the gold has to fight to get to the bottom, if it's a quarter inch of material, it's way better than 2 inches of material when you have it all in the corner stacked. And one problem I see is people shaking as they wash off the tops, because sometimes that can walk the gold to the sides of the riffles. It all depends on your material. That's a nice flake. We get the angle right here. So there's a good flake, there's a good flake, there's a good. They're all over there. Oh, stay focused. You see all that. And there's more in this black sand. If I work it back, you see there's a couple more flakes there. There's one going there. So this is one handful of those concentrates, and odds are the good stuff settled to the bottom anyway. That's crazy. Well, that's what shovel after shovel after shovel after shovel, just going at it, will do. Now I get this pan down a little bit more. Oops, I about tripped. This pan down a little bit more. I gotta check my phone's battery percentage. I gotta keep it going. So I'm skipping the riffles and just gently washing the blondes. Always point your pan downstream so you don't get a rogue wave. It's better if the rogue wave pulls your pan up and you pull your material in than a rogue wave to come down and scoop into your bucket or scoop into your pan and make you lose all your stir up all your material from what you stratified. I know I forgot something else. I just remembered seeing these pebbles in here. I was gonna classify my concentrates to remove all these pebbles so I had less to carry back, but oh well. I'm not skipping this gold for that. I haven't lied once. It's not a lot. Not a lot of weight. It's a lot of flakes. A lot of flakes, but not a lot of weight. And that's why my goal is only a gram. If these were flakes, I'd be like, ooh, like if these were big flakes, I'd be going for an ounce. I'd be out here full time. Forget work. I could do this all day long, but when I get it just right, I call it my starry night pan. All right. Well, I'm gonna put that back in here. It's tough doing this all one-handed. All right, they're back in there. This is the concentrate we're gonna take home. I won't know how much I got today until I do that clean out. Now, I need to clear. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of woody debris and pebbles in here. Crap. And I don't have a screwdriver to pull this off and clean it. I might be cutting my day short here because of my mistake on not bringing the screen. Miners forget things. Snuffer bottles sometimes it's, you know, we always forget something or another, right? Can you melt down a bunch of black sand until yes, you can definitely use different fluxes to get your gold into a button. You need a cone mold, a melter and stuff. I do have a new melting furnace on the way. So my goal is when I get these cleaned to melt them into a button. Not necessarily to refine them, but just to get them all in one piece, because these tiny little powdery pieces get to be a little tedious. They're great if I did pay dirt. All right, my battery's at 37%. My son went to town. I'm gonna get back to work here. I appreciate everyone being here, enjoying the scenery, seeing what getting gold really takes. You know, I've dug from right there to there, back there to here, about 6 inches down from the top, collecting this nice fine flood layer gold. I will be getting a YouTube video of this. That's what I've been working on while you're here. I'm getting the time lapse right now of the tailings going. I'm gonna get what I can cleaned up and then continue working on that video. So if you'd like to see that video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. You see the work I put into getting these. It's not easy, and I don't salt. And I'm always transparent and honest. If I don't get much, I don't get much. That's how it is. Oh, that's a different plane. So I'm gonna get back to it, get my stuff going, and stay tuned for the video results of this. I'm gonna take these home tonight. I'll probably be live while we're doing the cleanups too. I don't know if I'm gonna pan it, work it in the cleanup buddy, work it on the miller table, work it on whatever tool I have at home that I feel like I want to do, and we'll go from there. So until next time, may your pans be golden and you have a good morning, day, or night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thanks for being here.